3 better than a shovel. At 3 bid and a wheelbarrow 4.
Hi folks, today we're going to have a play with one of the toys that's been sat in the background. If it starts, that is. Let's go and have a look at the dumper. Here's Dumpy McDumpface was the vote on Instagram. Either that or Humpty Dumpty. Yeah?
You typed in there.
I'm going to see if the key works. Because somebody took the key out and lost it, and I think it was probably me. So all old tractors and plant quite often use these generic keys, and I'm secretly hoping that this is going to work. We bought a pack of, what was it, 5?
Let's see.
Oh. Oh.
I don't know where Maggie is.
You know what?
Where Maggie is?
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. Here she comes.
Can't believe it actually worked. We won this in an auction back in September, so it's always lived on the farm, or certainly for the last load of years. I have no idea how long it's been here, to be honest. However, when the dispersal sale came up, we bought this and a bunch of smaller stuff. The one thing we did try and bid on, but then pulled out, was the tractor. There were 2 tractors here, 2 old Internationals. Great machines, never left the farm. They've been here since new. But in the end, we pulled out. I think they stopped at about 4, or we stopped bidding at about 4,000. Let me show you a few little bits about this dumper. Hugh, who came up and did some of the welding on the barn and other bits, and he's been helping me over the past 6 months on all this sort of agricultural machinery and all advice, basically. Any advice I've needed on either hunting down implements and tractors. He gave this a look over on Sunday, and he was really impressed. We paid £3,200. Here's a little clip from the auction, because I think I filmed it on my phone.
278282929 3 bid.
Oh, that was my math.
3,000. Up 1 sec. 1 3 1 bid. 3 1 3 1 bid. Right at the back. At £3,100 bid. 3 1 2 3 2 3 2 bid. 3,002 3 2. One more. At 3 2 bid 3 3,003 3 3 bid 3 3 better than a shovel. At 3 3 bid and a wheelbarrow 4 3 4 3, 4. I've said it at £3,400.
Not sure Joe was expecting that, but saves hiring, I guess.
There we go. That's what we paid. And I think it's a great bit of kit. I don't think there's anything immediate that we need to be concerned about. It sat for 3 months, and I thought it was going to need a new battery or at least be charged. It doesn't have a choke, it just goes straight away, whatever the temperature. So I think you said it's a 3-cylinder Perkins engine, which is pretty straightforward diesel engine and easy to service. Everything, you know, you just hinge this whole backside up and you can see everything in there. Diesel, hydraulic, oil on the other side, and we're good to go. Now I've got a crazy harebrained idea. Because we're going to have the ability to use forks on a tractor, that's fine, but there's a certain capacity that we're going to be kind of capped at, and that's about 300 for the front and 700 or so at the back. I'm just wondering if it's possible that we can put some sort of jib arm from the back of the dumper across here, maybe 2, and be able to lift the bolt bag, because the hydraulics are 2-way, so it's powered going, it doesn't just fall back. And looking at it, I reckon it could just about work. If you imagine a nice pair of strong arms coming out here with either a hook or something, and then just put a sling onto a bag, lift it. I'm only talking about moving it a little bit around the yard. It's either that or we have to get bulk bags put onto pallets, and then at that point we should be able to drag them around, move them around with the forks on the back of the tractor. So it turns out our generic keys work, which I don't know if that's a safety issue, but it is what it is. So they, yeah, I didn't have to replace anything, even though we lost the key. I think they're just relays and stuff in there, so we've no real electrics to be concerned about. I don't even think there are any lights. So it is what it is. There's no glow plugs, so it just fires up straight away, fortunately. The only controls on the bucket are back and forward, you know, tip and back. Tyres have seen better days, but I'm pretty sure we can put a bit more air in them. They're obviously, tubes. Something's a bit looser, so don't touch it. Plus it's 4-wheel drive, so if they're ever feeling confident enough and the ground is hard enough, it might just about manage if we're doing any tracks and stuff in the fields to get down there. I'm not sure. It's a pretty heavy machine. It could sink pretty quick, but if the ground's hard in the summer, it might be useful, that 4-wheel drive, to get up and down the hill at least. Then the bucket itself, well, there's all sorts of pitting and rust in there, of course, because it's probably a 40-year-old machine. However, it's such thick steel, I don't think there's any issues there either. I was half tempted to, when we get any of the steel frames shot blasted, to get this done, but I don't think it needs it. I kind of like it as it is. And Hugh said one of the things you need to watch out for if you did blast clean machinery is you get all the grit and stuff can get into the pistons and the hydraulics and cause it more problems. The brakes weren't feeling particularly strong, but the first gear is so low that it's pretty controlled going down that slope. And then I'm guessing this is a handbrake, but there's not much there. There's a cable on the end of it, but I think that's probably why blocks have been under the wheels. You've got me wondering now, I wonder how we do date this. Anyone know how you date an old Thwaites all-drive 4-ton dumper? Can't see, I mean everything's worn off. Can't really see any plate around that might tell us. I think the battery must be under there. Yeah, there it is. You can see the bottom of it. So I thought it'd be 24 volt, but supposedly it's 12 volt. So that's easy enough. Now another thing that I should probably ask you experts on is the drive. So you'd look at this and you'd think, oh, it's a manual. There's a clutch, brake, and accelerator. However, I think it's a shuttle. Is that what they call it? Shuttle. So we're going forward and back. I'm not sure that the clutch does much, to be honest. Maybe it does just for the change. It doesn't feel like you need it to pull away with, but I don't want to damage anything, so let me know if it is like a conventional car. But I am well chuffed. This is a great bit of kit, and it's going to be super helpful on the whole build and more. Like, I can think of 100 uses for this already. It's a glorified wheelbarrow, but it's going to save our backs. One other thing to talk about is mini diggers. Every video I've put out showing me doing any sort of manual digging or anything, everyone says that I need to buy a mini digger immediately. Well, the truth is, I'm not going to do that, because second-hand mini diggers are crazy prices, and there is far better ways to be spending our money at the moment. Also, I don't know what size we want. If I went out and bought a standard 1 or 1.5 ton mini digger, it's probably going to be undersized. It'd be great for getting in and out and doing little bits on the small buildings, but when we're doing any footings or bigger work away from the barns, it's just going to not be up to it. So that's one reason why for the next few months I think we need to be hiring or borrowing smaller and medium-sized excavators. But one thing that a lot of people have said is as soon as you get over kind of 2.5, 3 tons, they're cheaper, because you can't just chuck them on the back of a plant trailer and go from job to job doing patios and landscaping. So they tend to have less of a less depreciation, maybe. No, more depreciation if they are bigger machines. So it might be that a bigger machine makes more sense. And the other option is a backhoe type attachment for the back of a tractor. Now that's good for general work, trenching, or doing a particular project out in the fields or something like that. However, that's just not going to be versatile enough for general work around construction. So it might happen. We might look at getting one for the tractor at some point, but for now we're going to hire or borrow. We've had a number of people locally who have offered us kit for occasions when we do need it, so that's really good. And then we'll see how we get on, because there's no point in spending money on something and then realising a month later it was far too small. A bit like if we've got a 1-ton dumper. This is 4 ton and I think it's huge for what we need. Oh yeah, the other thing is to kill the engine, you pull this up. I think it's meant to have a spring, but that needs to be down, and we should be able to just start it on the key. Let's make sure we're in neutral. That whole key situation is a bit weird. Maybe we need to find ourselves some sort of isolator. But anyway, that is done. We've got the dumper up and running, and we know it's in our tool arsenal now.